Alright, so the first instruction says to validate the HTML and CSS and to check the screen sizes. So I'll validate the CSS ones since all the CSS files are the same for all pages. Okay, I don't know why this is taking a while. Okay, so I'll just do that again. Refresh this page. Oops. Okay, I think I clicked the wrong one. Validate local CSS. Oh, okay. Congratulations. No errors. So I'll open these two pages in new tabs and I'll validate the HTML of the first page. No errors. And then I'll do the resizing of the first page. Okay, so this is the resizing. You can see. Oh, okay, so that's how it looks like, and I would validate the HTML for this page too. Now you can see there's no errors, and I'll do the resizing for this page too. Okay, so you can see this guy looks like a mobile. And lastly, this page, I'll validate the HTML and I'll do the resizing as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like on mobile, and pulling it, this is it. And then I would go on to the next task, which is to show the vehicle's controller, point out the switch statement, and I list the correct views based on the value of action for vehicle management, new classification, and new vehicle pages. Okay, so this is the controller, and this is the switch statement based on the action. And if the action is at vehicle page, it redirects to the vehicle page. If it's at classification page, it goes there, and if there's nothing past, then it goes to the vehicle page. Then explain the MVC architecture by showing how the controller uses the model view files to process database queries. Okay. And then show HTML for creating a new classification. Okay. So HTML code for creating a new classification after showing how the controller uses the model and view files to process the database. So this is the controller, and for the add classification, you can see what it does is there is a variable here from the model called insert classification. This is the vehicles model. There's an insert classification function here that the controller calls, but before it does that, it checks the global variable of the post input post, checks the global variable name of classification name, which is submitted from the form, and it checks if it's empty. If it's not, it proceeds to add it. If it's empty, it returns to the same view and gives a message for the user to know what's going on, and then it then inserts it using that function. Now, if the insertion is successful, it reloads this controller and automatically goes to the default page. And if not, it goes back to the at classification view and says the addition was not successful. And this is the in the views, This is the code for adding the classification. This is the code for creating that. It says show the part of the code in the vehicle's controller files that processes the new classification and new vehicle data from the form. Okay, so in the controller, the part that processes the new classification and the new vehicle data. So this first case, it processes the new classification, which I have just explained. In the second case, processes the vehicle data. So it checks each of the input from the form, and then it checks if they are empty, and then if not, it inserts them using the second function from the model. Where's that? Vehicle model. Yeah, this is the second function to insert it, and once it's done inserting, what it does next is it checks if it's successful. If it is, it returns a message to the same view. If it's not, it also returns a message letting the user know that it was not successful. Bring up the vehicles folder in the browser by typing in the name of the folder as part of the motor URL, and show that the default view vehicles management was delivered. Click the links to the new classification and new vehicles view to show the work by sending key value pair. Okay, so this is the URL which I'll load up, and you can see, I think, okay, I think this is how it is. So it shows the default view. If I go to vehicles and if I click add vehicles classification, it shows the add classification view. And if I go back and click the add a new vehicle, you can see the key value pair here at the top, action equals to add vehicle page, and you can see add vehicle page here. If I go back to the first one, you can see action equals add classification page, and this is what we have here. So objective 4 and 5, show the PDO statement in the vehicle model file. Very briefly explain the purpose of PDO statement and what the SQL statement does. So in the vehicle model file, this is it. So in the first function, a PDO statement, okay, here, a PDO statement, what it does is it helps us use our prepared SQL statement to insert into the database without it adds a layer of security because we are using prepared statement, so it only works with what we've already prepared. That means any person from outside the website trying to make injections into our database would not work, and that is the importance of using PDO statement. And this is our SQL statement here, and what it does is it inserts into the database table called car classification, and the column is classification name, and the value which it's going to pass in there is this, which will later bind to be this variable that we received, which is the classification name. The same thing applies to this other one. It inserts into the table inventory the following columns, and these are the values, but the values are not yet binded until we get to this line of code, which is where the binding occurs. And yeah, that's that. So show the creation of a new classification, show a successful creation, and show the error if nothing is in the form. Success is the new classification showing up in navigation file. Okay, so I'm adding a new classification right now. So I already have these classifications here, so I'm just going to add a new random one. It's going to be electric for electric cars, electric. Okay, for electric vehicles, and I'm going to click on add, and you can see here we now have electric. And if I go back here and I don't insert anything, it's asking me to insert it, so I'll just remove the required real fast. Okay, so I'll submit this, and you can see the page reloaded this, and we have please provide information for all empty field. So that's that. If this is the error you get, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the instructions, and it says show the creation of a new vehicle, show a successful creation, and show the error if a new field if a few fields are missing. Pick 2 or 3 random fields to be empty. Show the new data in the database when you're done. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to the vehicles page and add a new vehicle. I'm gonna add one in the electric and select the make to be um, Tesla, and the model should be I've forgotten Tesla model, so I'll just say 2021. This is an electric vehicle, and the price is 78,000. We have 4 in stock and it's black, so I'm going to add this, and it says Tesla 2021 has been added, has been successfully added. And I'm going to leave some fields blank, so the inspect sheet, the model field, remove the required, and the make field, remove the required for those two, and I would go on to type this is an electric car again. I'll change this to electric 78 in stock 4 black, and add. I can see please provide information for all empty fields. Okay, so that's that, and now I have to go to the database to show what's has been done so far. So this is the database. Go. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the classification, and we're looking for electric, which is the last one we added, this one. And in the inventory, we're looking for a Tesla. So this is the Tesla 2021. This is an electric vehicle that I added, and this is it right here in the database. So that's it. Thank you very much.